This is what we're going to spend most of the time today talking about, and that is hammers, which is based on Charlie Clouser's soundtracks and his approach to percussion. It's always a really adventurous thing when you're going through all of these different libraries, because every library has the personality and the really the soul and the heart of the composer and the programming that goes into it. And the first thing that people say when hammers came out was like, does it sound like Damage and Damage 2? And it's like, no, this is not that. And the thing is, it is something that stands on its own. So we instantly start comparing things. It's really a shame, because our expectations, we want to keep comparing this with that, but we have to realize that everything, it's a different set of brushes. It's a different set of tools. I'm glad things aren't different. I'm glad things are different. I'm glad things are not all the same, because each composer, each developer, they bring something fresh and new that you couldn't get from anywhere else. It comes from the individuality of the composer and the artist. This is a different animal, so to speak. So let's just take a look, see what we have going on with hammers. So right away, you notice the Spitfire player is front and center with this. I like what Christian said, is just you've got to kind of see what this really is. And it's not your typical thing. So I'm still actually wrapping my head around it as well. We'll just load up the ensembles, because that's a good place to start to kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. The thinking behind this, and I really, really like it, and the more that I've played this, it's more intuitive, is that things start from dark and it gets brighter as you go up the keyboard. So you've got all the dark instruments, the really big heavy bass drums, and you just hear that. And as you go up the keyboard, the sounds get brighter. Yeah. So that makes it real intuitive for me, because you know that your darker sounds are going to be here and your lighter sounds are going to be up here. So this is kind of an interesting way to kind of find the tones that you're looking for. And we've not even gotten into the kits, the individuals, but you've got the hits and the flams, the roughs and the rolls. So, you can just go through and look at those. And then they're broken down into drums, loops, and warps. And I like the concept of what Charlie calls the brick layout, because you've got sections of keys that are just laid out in these brick layouts. And I've got the two-handed layout on, and which I love, because it just makes it so intuitive to just get your hands in there and just play these sounds. And you've got the flams up here on these keys, and the roughs. And they're different types of bass drums that they use. But it's instantly playable. You get your hands on there and you can just really, really have fun playing this thing. And that is what I think is the highlight of this whole library, is the playability of it, because of the way that Charlie took those sensibilities that he loved, and he kind of let us borrow those, let us have those ourselves to enjoy. But you can just hear tremendous weight in this. Yeah, it's pretty huge, very huge. And then you can get into all the different mixes, and what I've really enjoyed doing is getting into the nano controller a little bit, because you can lay out and turn these different mixes and mic positions up so we can just kind of just instantly go between these different sections here. And I've only got 9 faders here, so we can go up to these last 2. And it's like they made the most of all the mic signals that they could use. And this is another Spitfire trait, is the abundance of these amazing mic signals. And you can also just take advantage of these 3 different mixes that Charlie's given us. This place that they recorded these in, this massive glass and metal space that they have, that is just crazy, the sound that they get out of that. So those SURDOS, listen to that. And once again, man, the playability is there. Listen to that. And let's just check out mix 2. And for the most part, these mix 1, 2, and 3, you're going to pick one of those, I'm sure, you know. And again, two-handed, it makes all the difference, because you can just bring up those. And you've got the velocity layers and the round robins. They've really done a good job giving you those, because you will never have an issue with that machine gun effect. And you've got lots of reverbs and stuff here. That's got the dark hall. I love being able to see all of these different, you've got drum chambers, stone rooms, glass, and tight. Just you know, it's just like you're going down into the rabbit hole. So you got toms, you got all the. You know. But the thing that you can hear, these are just crystal clear. The samples are just like, they're just like crystal clear. And then because they are that way, that allows you to do so much with them, you know, with all the effects and different things. Okay, now speaking of effects, you've got this cool reverse. And then the more that you pull it over, like you've got 16th, 8th notes, quarter notes, and then you can take it all the way. Yeah, so you can get some really wild effects. Yeah, so the snares, you've got the different snare hits. I'm going to be here all week. Yeah, and listen to that dynamic range. I mean, especially with the SL88, you can get those really soft dynamic range, those really soft velocities. So you can hear how that responds to those very soft hits, and then you can go all the way. And you go all the way back down. Yeah, we'll just hit a little bit of the darbukas. And the sounds really are very playable. And here again, you've got that really soft dynamic. Yeah, Donald, it's really crystal clear. That is the beauty of this. I want to turn on mix 3. So you'll notice what happens when you enable one of the mixes. It will disable the other mix because and also you'll notice that when you start adjusting the individual mic signals, that it will turn off the mix because it just kind of is redundant to do that, and it also prevents phasing issues and that kind of thing. Listen how that. Massimo, it's good to see you. Now let's just fire up. That's the close mic. Let's fire up mix 3. And mix 3 is where Charlie's just kind of taken things and just crushed it a little bit. Just really processed it. I just love the way those darbukas just. Yeah, see, and that's the thing. Just like with the piano library that sounds good and inspires you. So this can kind of take you someplace. And then those dynamics again. Yeah, yeah. So, and that's the thing. You can once you get started with a groove like that. And this is not just for scoring and for themes and soundtracks. I mean, the thing is, it is. I mean, you can't just pigeonhole it and say, well, this is only good for soundtracks. This is just some of the best recorded percussion, just clean, just the clean percussion. It is just amazing. So you could use it for anything. If the drum fits, you can put it in here. Now the frame drums are really interesting. And then they've got just crazy mic positions. They've got like an overhead in the porch area. And then they've crushed it, and then you can blend these together. And I always make the mistake of not reading a lot in the manual. I just like to experience things. Beautiful, absolutely powerful sounds here. Yeah, so this is like some metallic percussion. And then did you notice again the sensibility here that we go from low frequency instruments to high? And so that is just, again, very thought out. I mean, it took them, I guess, from the inception of the idea to actually releasing it over 2 years. So they've really spent a lot of time thinking this through. So, yeah, pipes and all different types of metals and. Yeah, it's very nice, very cool. Okay, let's get into the loops just a little bit, and then we're going to go to the warps. Now, I've got my tempo set at 74, just for something we're going to do later. But what happens is these loops are broken down into different tempo ranges. So if your DAW is, okay, well, I'll just show you real quick what happens. My DAW is at 74. And I'm going to do 120. Now watch what happens when I hit 120. Okay, so the loops jump to the 130 BPM loops, because that way they don't have to worry about a lot of time stretching and that type of thing. So they choose the loops that best fit the tempo. So we can go to 110. There you go. Yeah, see? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then you have the same controls. You have the same controls over the mics and that type of thing. So let's go back to 74. One thing you've got to remember when you turn a mic signal on, if you're holding the key down and you enable the mic signal, you've got to re-trigger the key before it'll start playing. So watch. So I'm gonna turn on the overhead, and you're not going to be able to hear it until I re-trigger it. And you hear it when I did that overhead. Listen how wide that gets. It's yes, this is live. We are live, and we are on the air. If you can chat, if you can, Sithaski, yes, we're live. Yes, we are. And I just think that's another thing that they thought out, is because I've not really seen the loops follow the tempo like this before, and I think that's a really cool feature that they have. So that's the bass drum loops. Let's do the SURDOS. I want to say SURDOS. It's SURDOS. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is you've got the loops here, but then you've got the in hits. Okay, so you've got this going, and it's doing its thing. So watch this. So I hit that key, and it's an in hit. So all of these have in hits, and not only do they have in hits here, you can go down to this end of the keyboard, and they've got reversed in hits. So we can go like this and end it real big, like you get that big sucking sound. You know, I think yeah, Bill is asking about the round robins, and you know, I think they're very subtle. Sometimes you don't even realize that they're even being triggered, but there's 9 of them, and I think that's what makes it feel very intuitive, very alive, and easy to play. That's what kind of pulls that out of you when you're playing an instrument and you're not thinking about the round robins, because you're hearing the sound coming back at you. And I think that's what makes a difference. If you hear an effect, if you hear a split point, if you hear a loop point, if you hear a round robin, then you know, sometimes if you can hear it, then it's not right. When you don't hear something but you feel it, that's what makes all the difference to me. And I feel things more than you know, not even hearing them as much as feeling them. Okay, so we're just kind of running down the individual sounds here. So this is the Rototom loops. And all of these patterns are kind of like, again, Christian says it's cellular, because the loops, you know, you usually would start with like one of the loops, and then you would kind of build on that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. You know, I always feel like I don't do these instruments the justice that they need, because, you know, frankly, they're so deep. It's different because it's going into the mind of what Charlie was looking for in a percussion library, and he was able to make that happen. And that is really incredible, because it takes the sensibilities that he uses every day as a media composer, and he just kind of brings it into this package here. Hey, David, it's good to see you. Thanks for subscribing. Now this is the warps. Oh yeah. Now, and as always, you've got the modulation that you can use for the dynamics, so you can just kind of let that cook a little bit. Is it Alexson? It's good to see you. Yeah, I mean, just listen. I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Massimo, it's like, it's crazy. So I saw this user preset here. So what I did, since I like to play, I love to play and I love to hear the instrument respond. So what I did, I took the toms and I created a velocity stack. So when I'm just kind of playing at the low velocities, it's going to just play the solo. But as I build velocities up, it's going to switch to 2-player, and then it'll go into 4-player. Now see how that switches back and forth? So that gives you even a more greater depth of dynamics. And then of course, so you've got velocity, you've got the dynamic slider with the modulation, and plus the ability to layer these and stack these like this with the velocity cross switching. And even the roughs and the flams and everything, they're all velocity sensitive. So you can play a real nice soft solo and then just do a really hard flam. Yeah, I'm all into just making the most of getting the instrument to perform with anything that you can do as far as velocities and that kind of thing. And so the way that you do that, you just go over to the side and you've got a choice for trigger. Now you can have a key switch trigger, CCs, MIDI channels, and all of that kind of thing. They give you so many different ways that you can control this. And then one of the things that a lot of times we miss is that next to the settings, with that little ellipse here, you've got settings for your dynamic layers, the velocity scaling, which is important, and you can reset or clear any MIDI controls, host tempo. And then you've got this stretch mode, and so that's for the loops that you can select the default Spitfire stretching algorithm, and then now voice choking and that type of thing. Now loop ending is really cool. So what happens is, let's go back to one of the loops. Let's just go back to like the tom loops. Let me see. Let me make sure that that's on here. Okay, so the loop end I had turned off. So watch what happens. So this is with it off. Now I'm going to release the key, and it just cuts off. Now watch what happens when I turn the loop end on. So what happens when you release the key, it automatically triggers the end hit. And I think that's kind of cool. So instead of just getting choked off and that type of thing, see, like that, so you can have it turned on, just to give a natural hit. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do, and I don't know how this is going to go, but this is for John Skippy Lehmkuhl from Plugin Guru. He was looking at hammers, and I've had hammers for a couple of days. You know me, when I get something, I want to just want to get it to you as fast as I can. He made a statement. He said, Simeon, I would love for you to take hammers to church.
Yeah, Simeon, do saw or do a hammers for church. can hear that in church.
And it was like, oh boy, how can we do that? But I found something I think is really interesting, and it's going to help us to get a picture of some of the warps and that type of thing. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. You know how much I really love being able to do this, and I couldn't do it without the support, your support, and want to thank Spitfire for their support. It's been great. I really appreciate it. They provided a copy of Hammers for me to review. It's that kind of support that allows me to do what I love to do and to share these live streams and these videos with you and to be able to do what I'm doing. I just really appreciate it. So a little background, my family originally was from the eastern part of Kentucky, the mountains, and it's like the real country, coal mining towns. And when you think of solstice even, the Irish and the folk music, it was very steeped in that. The music of the mountains were mainly like, the chanting and the bluegrass. And my dad was a coal miner. It was amazing to see that. But we would go to like the old regular Baptist churches, and they would do, they wouldn't have any instruments, but the song leader would go, "Amazing grace, how sweet the sound." And then amazing. It's just an amazing traditional way of doing this. This song, "There Ain't No Grave Gonna Hold My Body Down," that was something that instantly kind of came to me. And I said, we can do that. What I've done, I made this track a long time ago. And I did this with Hallian Sonic and some other instruments. But let's just take a listen. I've got some bass drums and frame drums. And we're going to just kind of do some experiments and kind of have some fun playing with this. And I'm going to turn on the drums that I did, the Hallian Sonic drums. And we're going to hear the difference. We're going to hear what hammers can bring to this. Yeah. You just can hear that country, that, them sitting in the hollers and yeah. Yeah. Let me just bump this. So this is Hallian Sonic drums. Okay, that's just a little sample, but let's check this out. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mute these other drums, and I'm going to turn on the bass drum warps. So let's just take a listen. Yeah, you hear that? It just makes such a huge difference. Get the idea. Now I'm going to turn on the frame drum warps. Now let's turn on some frame drum. And then you get the snares going. Let's see. That's it just pulls it into a whole another place. I was just playing with this all day, but yeah. But let's just do some more. Let's just do some more. And you notice that you turn these warps on, and the darker. I mean, the farther. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just got grit. It's just that gritty. So the bass drum warps. Let me just pull this up some more. So you go up a little bit. Yeah, listen to that. You've got 2 pages of these. And you see when I did warp 12, it really is higher frequencies. Okay, so here we go. Now here we go. We're going to take it to church. Oh, shame is a prison as cruel as the grave. Shame is a robber and he's come to take my name. Oh, love is my redeemer, lifting me up from the ground. Love is the power where my freedom song is found. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, well, I'm gonna get up out of the ground. There ain't no grave, no, 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 gonna hold my body down. Fear is a liar. Whoa, with a smooth and velvet tongue. Whoa, fear's a tyrant, he's always telling me to run. Well, let's get these warps going here. Here we go. Well, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna get up out of the ground. There ain't no grave gonna hold this body down. Whoa. gonna hold me down. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, it gets crazy. It gets crazy around here. It gets crazy around here. But that is what is so cool. Man, it is cool. It is cool. And that is what's so amazing is that I've got all of these warps tuned in, and then to have them be able to go and do all of this stuff. Okay, let's see. I've got, yeah, having everything on 2 pages, sometimes you lose track of things, but it's amazing. But see, that's the thing, it propels you. It's these ideas that just kind of get things going. It's just so much fun. Oh man, yeah, that was actually one of the praise tracks that I did. It was I think Bethel Church did that, Ain't No Grave, and I just kind of adapted it for hammers and for today. So it's a lot of fun. So man, it's crazy. It is crazy. Let's see what, yeah. Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff going on. But the thing is, this is raw material. They've given you such raw material, but it's been given to in such a way that it is just really clean and pure types of sounds. And they've given you such a variety of things. And the thing is, you've got to just learn how to dive into these sounds. The thing is, it's the discovery. You've got to take time and go into these loops and go into these sounds to find out exactly what they sound like and where they're going to fit into your workflow. That's the thing, and that's what takes time. It takes time to go in and say this loop is going to inspire this, and so. And I hear I mean, I've been hearing the word curated a lot. And so that's exactly what they've done. They've went in and they've assembled all of these sounds, all this material that you can just go in and just pull. And you can take these and then take them further with how you want them with whatever treatments you want. There's not a lot here as far as really crazy things that you can do effects-wise, but you can maximize the sound and then you can take it further. You know, it is not, and that's what I said at the very beginning. Meat Puppet, you know, says, is this basically damage too? No, it's not. And it's not, you know, and the thing is, you know, when Charlie was putting this together, he was talking about how he had all of these different drum libraries and percussion libraries, but yet he wanted something that kind of matched his workflow and gave him something that he was looking for that he was not able to find in these other libraries. And and that's the thing, you can't compare this with Damage and you can't compare Damage with this. They both are fantastic tools in their own respect. And I think that's where we've got to come to. If this aesthetic works for you, then that's what's gonna speak to you. So these sounds are going to speak to you in some way to the music that you're doing that maybe another drum library is not, and maybe Damage too is the library that is going to fit what you need. But it's good to have all of these options that are coming at different you know, different angles, different perspectives. I just want to show you about the warps. I think we just kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm going to just turn on warp 12, and you hear this really bright high frequency treatment of this. Now you go back to warp 1, and it's going to be totally opposite. It's going to be very deep, and again, that's the intuitive thought that went into it. So so it starts with those low frequencies, and then you can mix and match just boost up that frequency spectrum, it's just crushing it, man. Yeah, and they've taken that all throughout the whole thing. So, man, and see, and it's discovering these different loops. Yeah, see different grooves, and they all complement each other. So all of these, so this bass drum groove is going to complement the frame drum groove. So these are all starting points, you know, and then you just can build on top of those, just like what we were doing earlier. So basically, that's really it in a nutshell. These are just very. I mean, the thing is, I know that when you watch the walkthroughs with Christian and Charlie, and then Charlie does some other videos about this, you can see that they, you know, they just didn't crank this out in a week. I mean, Charlie just personally was looking into these sounds and making sure that things sounded right and getting those mixes right. So it's like you can hear the care that they put into recording these. Man, yeah, see, it's like one of those things as you would think, oh, it's just a percussion library. There's not too much you can say about it, but you know, we can continue to say a lot about all the warps, all the different effects. Oh, and this is the thing too. You can reverse these loops. And you can do it the same. With the same intensity as you would like the single hits. Yeah, I just think that's insane. And then you can do that in real time as you're playing as well. You can assign that to a controller and just go crazy with that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, let's do a little bit more of this, just kind of grooving and playing around. And once again, man, I just thank you so much for watching and for supporting. All the links are going to be down in the description below. And that's the thing, you just got to get something going. Yeah, I mean, we'll bring this up. Yeah, so you hear the frame drums changing here. And let's look at the bass drum warps. You can just sculpt these sounds with the warps as you're going along. Okay, guys. This is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much to Spitfire Audio, to all of you for joining me today. And we look forward to seeing you on the next live stream with who knows what's gonna happen. Love is my weapon. I'm gonna take my giants down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Well, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, gonna get up out of that ground. There ain't no grave, oh, I'm gonna hold my body down. Let's get some 4-player surdo player. We'll see you soon. God bless you, and we'll see you soon on the next live stream. It's fun. A lot of fun with you guys. Well, there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down.